Morning everybody, MG here, MGCovers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, update on the progress of my plug and play models. What you're looking at now is college football. We're going to take a look at that. Also look at the NHL totals model, as well as the NBA double digit favorite model. Before we do that, as always, love to have you as a subscriber. I know everybody that has a YouTube channel says that, but if you're a regular watcher of my channel and you haven't subscribed, I would greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. As you know, it helps growth. If you like this video or any of my videos, greatly appreciate you sharing that as well. And if you follow me on social media, you get a ton of value by following me there. I know a lot of people say follow me, or subscribe, but it's free and there's a lot of value in that. I put out a ton of content on my Instagram story, a ton of content. You'll learn a lot just simply by following me. MGCovers, cover spelled with a Z, same screen name on Twitter as well. All right, so let's dive into this core of this video. You know, my strength is building models, and the shift that I want to take my business, not only for myself but also my clients, is making this process of handicapping very easy. So what we're trying to do now is put more pressure on the models, less pressure on the handicapping itself, meaning focus more on the objective aspects of handicapping and less on the subjective aspects, because for me personally, that's where I tend to make a lot of my mistakes, in the subjective part of handicapping and relying more on the model and tweaking and making the model stronger. So we're going to look at college football model. I've said this before, the NFL college football model that I have is probably the best model I've ever created ever. The NFL football model this past weekend went 6-1-1. 6-1-1, absolutely solid. Now you look at the college football model, this is this week leading up to today, and we'll just go through and mark these. These are my lines you're looking at, so if you want to compare these to the sports books, you can. That was a winner there, Ball State, that was a winner. Central Michigan was a winner. Northern Illinois was a winner. Louisiana Lafayette was a winner last night. I recommended people play that on the money line, but counting it as a win because they actually covered on that number at plus 4.5. And then we'll go ahead, and this was a loss, as well as the Fresno State. So this is no handicapping, meaning we're just playing games with value via the model. It goes 6-2. And it's doubtful for me or for anybody that would take this model and then try to handicap it, and you can produce better than, what's that, 75%? Whoops. Yeah. 75%. Just no way you can do it. So putting more pressure and more reliance on the model itself and less on the subjective aspects of handicapping. So that's for this week for model went for 10, which is 4%. NHL total last year, overs were cashing like crazy for overs in NHL, and I hadn't handicapped totals in probably 3 years. I brought the model out and applied it, and boom, I didn't track it, but I had a lot of clients that were on it, and it was probably hitting 55%, 60% from the All-Star break on. So this year we started tracking it at the beginning, right when we had enough data, when teams had played at least 10 games, and just started tracking the overs. And what I realized, and if you look at the statistical properties of NHL, overs are not cashing at a greater percentage than the unders. It's basically right at even. Both overs and unders are cashing right at 50%. So we started tracking it November the 8th, which was about 4 or 5 days ago, and really solid results you can see here. And what's interesting too, we only had 3 overplays, and one of those lost, and all the unders that we played so far have won. 7-1, 5.9, and I just used minus 1.1, minus 110 for the loss there. So really solid. Now, obviously, there's going to be some regression to this, right? It's not going to maintain that win percentage, but it's still an extremely solid model. And there's no handicapping, which means probably if you would have taken all these games and you would have, looked at goalies, you would have looked at injuries, you'd have looked at line movement, et cetera, you're not going to win. You're just not. So, again, more reliance, less reliance on the subjective aspect of handicapping. All right, so that's that model. Let's go over here to NBA. Now, with NBA, one thing I noticed, I think I saw this 2 years ago or either last year, I noticed that double-digit favorites via my line would win and cover at a very high percentage. So then what I did was I came up with a concept called double-digit favorite, which means if a team in NBA is a double-digit favorite via my line and we have value compared to the books line, it was generally a good play. And so you can see here these results. We had two. I gave these out for Free Fridays. If you follow me on Instagram, I do something called Free Fridays, and I give out all my lines for all sports. We had split Milwaukee. Yeah, that was a tough one there because obviously didn't have their best player. That's why the line was +2 there. So I still counted as a loss. And of course Memphis, good win there. So the model goes 7-4, and tracking that, using -110 for losses, up 2.6 units. And then that would be, let's see, 7 divided by 11, 64%. If you tried to handicap those games situationally, you're not going to do better than 64%. So that's my whole point and premise of a plug-and-play model. The model is so good on its own, if you tried to handicap it, you're not going to get better results than 64%. You're just not. So there's no need to handicap. You just simply look at my clients now have access to this, right, where you're able to see which teams are double-digit favorites, and it's just simply a plug-and-play model. So super, super excited about that transition and focusing more on the models. Now, with regards to soccer, made a ton of adjustments to soccer. I don't know that, it's possible to have a plug-and-play model, but still refining that process and tweaking on some things, so I'll probably update that as well. But anyway, hey, if you want access to all these lines like I showed, you can do that if you're a client. It's $49.95 per month. That gives you access to not only these models here, lines, also gives you access to all my coaching videos, over 150 coaching videos on the website. If you want access to all my plays, $100 a month, and if you join for an entire year, that is the best value. You save about $600 off the sticker price. Link to join is in the description. And hey, good luck this week, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.